Are rolling? Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me lubricate real quick.
Oh, so much lubrication.
I'm starting it that way.
God damn it. All right, yeah.
Welcome back, everybody, to the podcast. I'm the real OMEN _, joined today by my co-host, Obi.exe.
Hello.
How we doing today, Obi? How you been?
I've been good. Just been getting through my week and losing more weight than I was expecting to. But I mean, I'm happy about it. If you guys haven't seen my Twitter yet, there's a couple of sneak peeks at that at the moment. So
Yeah, we get it. You're a big, strong, sexy man. We understand.
Oh my god. Stop it. Make me blush.
But I do believe we have a guest today, Obi. Would you like to introduce our guest?
Yes, we do. Today we have the wonderful eAya, otherwise known as Aya. Aya has been a great friend of both of ours, and we are so happy and we are so happy.
Just go. It's fine.
We are so happy to have you here today with us. We do really appreciate it, Aya, you coming in, and especially with all things considered, the time zone differences that do restrict us from being able to do this. But we're really happy to have you on. Can you, if you wouldn't mind, just doing a little bit of a self-introduction?
My name is Aya. Yeah, I don't have many titles to me, to be honest. I am a streamer. I make content, and I embarrass myself on the internet.
You never.
You know, before this started, I told Omen that, like, if this is going to be an hour straight of him making fun of me, I don't want to be here. And he said he's not going to.
I'm not going. I had to get that out the way early. You know, we're fine.
Okay, yeah, my bad.
No,
Get the giggles out now.
I did. So you mentioned losing weight, right, Obi?
Sure.
I have got to tell you a story that happened to me just today. So, woke up early today, went to the gym, as I'm prone to do. I got to get swole for TwitchCon. And so I get to the gym, and there's always that one muscle mommy, right? The one that's just like wearing the Alpha Elite stuff that's skin tight and just everybody.
Yeah, my bad.
So Aya was at my gym today. No, I'm just kidding. It was crazy watching. It was like watching a nature documentary, because every time I looked over, there was just more just testosterone-driven fireflies being drawn to this bug zapper of a woman that's just ready to strike them all down, right? And it's funny, because every time she would move machines or specific areas, they would just follow. It was weird. It was like baby ducklings following the mom, right?
See, it's actually funny because when I used to go to the gym, we had it was like this one guy, he worked there, but I also knew him from school because it's been ages since I've been to the gym.
Mm.
And he used to do exactly what you're talking about. And I specifically remember one day I was laying down and doing like working on my abs and doing like crunches, whatever. And he just towered over me. I was fully laid on the floor and he towered over me, like basically like standing where my legs are. And he started hitting on me, and like honestly, I don't know if you guys ever spoke to somebody that they're like standing over you and you're laying down, but that is not a flattering angle. And I'm all sweaty and stuff. Like when I go to the gym, I go to the gym. I don't go to like, oh my god, I'm so pretty, And that shit was awkward.
Oh yeah,
getting hit on at the gym is not the place.
No, and that's what made this even more entertaining. It gets even better. So she's doing like chest press, whatever, and she's like laying like on a flat bench, and this other dude comes strolling over, probably just normal looking guy, and he lays back on the bench next to her, and he's like making a bunch of noise. Like, this dude should be in the industry, and by industry, that industry with the noises he was making. He was like,
That was
like he was just totally trying to get her attention. And she looks over at him and sees the weight he's like chest pressing. And she walks over to the bench and she grabs like 20 pounds heavier than what he's doing and is just throwing up reps.
I love her.
They scattered like cockroaches. Like, I ain't fucking touching that.
I feel like you needed like a voiceover of like a horny David Attenborough, you know, just like voicing the whole situation.
Okay, but I'm sorry, but if you think that like moaning while you're working out is the way to get the girl's attention,
Yeah,
I'm
probably
sorry.
probably not the best way to do it. But I mean, I understand, like, if you're trying to get the last rep up or whatever and you gotta make a noise, that's one thing.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're like intentionally fucking moaning,
It
you
was,
know,
it was like the first rep.
if you're sitting there like, yeah.
He was going Super Saiyan. He was like, ah!
I don't know. I personally, I wouldn't be very attracted to that.
No.
Yeah,
No.
no. And it's something that I've noticed, like going to the gym. I go to a gym that's actually on site for where I live, and it is nice. It is really nice. The thing that I've noticed though is like when I go, everyone kind of does their own thing. No one's really like looking to do the whole fucking gym Tinder, right?
Mhm.
Like they're genuinely there to work out. Now that is completely different from whenever I used to go to Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness, it was just like Hunger Games of the horny.
Reality them.
Like I don't know why it was like so important that they got noticed for doing their workouts, and it would go on both ends. It wasn't just the male side. There would be like the female sides that would, you know, do the same thing. And eventually it would, there was one time in particular I'm remembering, a dude was like deadlifting and he was clearly doing more than he was comfortable with. And when he dropped weight and they hit him with the lunker alarm, like all of the girls immediately came over, and it was almost as if like it was a rite of passage for him to be like
Seriously?
yeah, I live so much, I hit off the lunker alarm.
See, like, I don't know. When I used to go to the gym, it was a very like small gym to begin with. And it was like you're describing, like very much the Hunger Games of like the horny. Um and I don't know, like all the guys there used to, I remember there was like two sections, right? There's like the like weights section and then like everything else. And the weights, like you'd never see a girl in there. And I remember like going there to grab a weight, like grab some weights to work in like my glutes and stuff. And I remember walking in there and each and every one of them was staring me down.
Ooh.
And like not just in a nice way, not like in a checking me out kind of way, in like genuinely like what the fuck are you doing here way?
Yeah,
Because that was like
What?
the guys section.
like a wounded gazelle in the Serengeti and the lions
Yeah,
who
like
just
genuinely. It's like I walked into the lion's den or something. I never came back there.
See, I completely understand the idea of like, don't stare at people in the gym. That's a terrible thing to do. Like, everybody's just there to do their thing, especially women.
Exactly.
Don't creep out women. They're trying to be safe. They're trying to do their workout. Let them do their thing. I will, however, say, nothing kind of gives me an ego boost, like kind of catching out of the corner of my eye, someone like turning their head a little bit. The rest of my day is made. Like, I walk with a little bit of like pep in myself, like, yeah.
I mean, I feel like
The
there's
chest
a way
is
to
a little
do
bit
that,
more
right?
out.
I'm walking
There's a way to
like
do
Johnny
that,
Bravo.
Plus, I also
Whoa.
feel, I also feel like it really just depends. Because like to be fair, so like yes, it's a compliment at the same time. Like, do you really want to be looked at like in a sexual way when
Yes.
you're just trying to like better yourself? Okay.
I mean, okay. So from like a guy's perspective, I can completely agree with Omen. I have no issue with people, you know, looking at me that way. Now, it's very interesting. I have more guys look at me than girls, and I'm like, but I'm straight. Like,
Yes.
Like I'm as straight as a fucking arrow shot from, you know, Robin Hood's quill. But I don't want to.
There is
I don't want to
over
like.
there.
Huh?
Huh?
What?
What?
There's
Oh
no-
my god. Anyways, so. God damn it.
Arrows bend in the air. It's true, man.
Arrows do bend in the air. That is true.
All they need is a good blow.
That's all I'm saying.
God damn.
All right.
It's the whole spaghetti thing again. Is that it?
When it gets wet, it's fair
when it
game.
gets wet, it's fair game.
Oh my god. Oh, holy crap. It's-
Anyway, continue.
yeah, go ahead. What is that?
What was I talking about?
About Robin Hood Square.
Oh yeah, no, I'm like 100% straight, but like I don't know, I appreciate the gesture or the compliment, you know, or the non-verbal compliment that they just gave to me. It like I don't know. I'm hit on by gay guys quite often, and I feel like
Maybe
it's not
you
a.
give off the vibe.
I don't know what vibe that is. I'm just a guy who is very either I don't know. Like I'm very expressive with myself. I talk with my hands, like I make noises. I fucking I don't know what you guys do. Happy Pride Month, by the way, guys. Happy Pride Month.
Oh my god.
Well, the podcast has been great. We're going to be canceled after this episode. No, that's an interesting point because, like, so guys, and this was me back right when I got out of high school. You know, I got the muscle car. I started going to the gym. I'm like, oh, you know, I get attracted ladies. The demographic I ended up attracting was like 50 to 60-year-old dudes. It's like every time I'd be at the gas station, that thing got a Hemi in it. That thing got a Hemi.
But
Yep.
honestly, we can talk about that because I feel like being super buff and being super like big and stuff like that, that's the male gaze we're talking about. That is not the female gaze. That is like, you know, the whole thing that like straight guys are always attracted to fucking Ryan Reynolds.
Yes,
That joke.
100%.
And like, you know how if you ask a straight guy like if Ryan Reynolds is attractive, out of the time he'll tell you like, fuck yeah, he's the most attractive man I know and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like as a woman especially, and as somebody that has like a lot of like girlfriends and stuff like that, I've never ever in my life heard a girl saying that Ryan Reynolds is like the most attractive man in the world. Because he's not. In my opinion, he's like a solid 6, maybe.
A 6.
Yeah. But then again, my celebrity crush is Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh
So,
my god.
Okay.
You know, it's really just like it's something about being overly big and overly masculine that is truly just a guy thing. Like a lot of girls I know couldn't give a shit about being like somebody being super buff. I myself prefer a lean guy than a buff guy.
Well, GG's.
No, so
over.
it's I honestly feel like it's this like myth that guys created that women want this like gigantic buff guys. Now I'm not saying all women, obviously. Like I know somebody that is like strictly attracted to people that are built like JoJo, but but I also know a lot of girls that are like they much prefer lean build. So it's really just something that kind of men created in their heads that they need to be gigantic for like women to look their way. And at the end of the day, it's just men looking their way instead.
You know, that makes perfect sense to me because I'm going to date myself here because I'm older than the earth itself. But, like, I remember growing up watching, like, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, you know, like Predator and Terminator 2. And I was like, I want to be that guy. You know, I want to have the fucking guns and I want to just be totally jacked and, you know, save the child from the burning building and stuff like that. You know, so maybe that does have something to do with it. It was in media growing up so much.
Yeah, definitely media, 100%. Because you can look at like Superman and stuff like that as well, and it's always this like super like heavily like top built kind of buddy.
Yeah, but
That is true. Like I've noticed this about a lot of the superheroes. Like when you look at like Batman like was one of the most like girthy men, but it was because he trained in like different forms of martial arts and things like that. And with Superman, he was just he's Superman. He fucking got built as shit. He was lifting tractors at like the age of 3.
Yeah.
Like, dude is
He's
just
also an
meant to be that
alien,
big.
so
And he's an alien. Yeah, he's a Kryptonian. So it's like, but then you look at people like the Flash, and the Flash is more of like a lean dude who's built for, you know, acceleration, speed, and things like that. And he's not built like that. He's very like tight muscled. You know, he's the cut to our bulk,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
see, and I like that personally.
but at the
Okay.
same
See-
time, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, Omen, we need this for the podcast. We need like a female's perspective on things sometimes, you know.
Oh, definitely.
'Cause, like,
Yeah, for sure.
There's too much testosterone in this building.
just throwing it back and forth, back and forth.
The thing that I find interesting is that, like, DC has these hyper masculine characters, but at the same time, like, Superman wears his underwear on the outside of his suit. Like, my guy's got red panties flying through the air, right? And then, depending on your version of Batman, my guy's wearing a rubber suit with, like, actual sculpted nipples. Yeah.
It's true.
Right? Like, why was it that when he was designing his suit, he was like, you know what would be good on this? Fucking actual accurate nipples. Or if you can, like,
Honestly, we can also talk about like the functionality of that, because like even if you look at not the nipples,
oh, okay.
Oh,
but we talk about like a general superhero
resistance.
clothing, right? If we talk about superhero clothing, a lot of the clothing, like for example, Superman, just like you gave the example of, what was the point of putting his panties outside?
I know.
you actually know?
I have a theory.
He's been waiting his entire life for this.
No, honestly.
Look, Superman flies
So
at like the speed of sound, right? Faster than a speeding bullet can fucking, you know, he's like crashing through buildings all the time. You gotta make sure everything's contained, right? And if, you know, some contents may shift in shipping, if you're not making sure. So in
So
my,
is it more aerodynamic to have your panties outside of you?
I don't think it's aerodynamic. I think it just makes sure everything's cradled. Like, you know, you're making sure that you're nice and cupped under there. Like in my,
It's his pitcher's cup.
oh yeah, I
It's
imagine
crazy.
that Superman wears underwear and then his suit and then another pair of underwear because the
you
two
think
was not
he's
good
not
enough.
commando under there?
No, I'm thinking
Okay.
he's 3-plying it. Like,
Valid. Honestly, valid. I didn't even think about that. I thought he was commando that entire time. I couldn't even imagine him having 2 pairs of underwear on.
you got,
But
if
then
you're-
again, why not having the 2 pairs on the inside? Why have 1 pair on the outside of his pants?
well, then you're just gonna have like a weird panty line, you know, from
Diaper
wearing 2
line?
pairs of underwear.
It's kind of like diaper at
Yeah.
that point, right?
So might as well draw attention to it, like in my opinion. Like, you know, bring attention to it now so that way people aren't asking, by the way, what's going on with your downstairs region? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Side note, real quick. Have you guys heard, what's that underwear company that they actually make, you probably wouldn't have heard this, but Obi, have you heard of, like, the underwear company that puts, like, a hammock in the bottom of the underwear to cradle your
Banana
boys?
hammock?
You know-
I got a story.
I really want to hear that one.
You got me so excited. But go with your bit, and then I'll go with my story.
I'm gonna let you go, but for those of you, because you guys can't see him, he just did a little happy dance in his chair with how excited he got for the story. Please, I'm all ears. Go for it.
Okay, so I have purchased, you know, obviously underwear, boxer briefs, boxers over the years, and I've, you know, wanted to find the right pair for me. And yes, I have heard of the hammock ones. They're very, very interesting. I haven't tried them myself, but I have tried a different product that was very questionable. So, you know how in Scotland they wear kilts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's these brand called boxer kilts, right?
Oh god.
And the way that it works is that it's boxer briefs, and then there's another layer that is the kilt, and it puts it in the front, right? And the Johnson and the Beans get to have free reign over their kingdom. So it has a slit in the actual boxer briefs, so that way, you know, they can do their business. And if you need to, it's as simple as just lifting the top side and then leaving it down. And I tell you, I have never felt more comfortable like wearing those than like wearing like boxers, because boxers require like no support whatsoever. These give a little bit of support and they give you privacy at the same time. This is not a sponsor. But
I'm sorry.
boxer kilt.
I'm having trouble visualizing the construction of.
Okay, so
Those
imagine
underwear.
natural boxer briefs. Okay,
Okay.
so natural boxer briefs are going to
Are
have
boxer
that.
briefs are those the ones that are like not tight on you?
They're long
They're
but
li-
tight.
They're long but tight.
Okay.
And when you wear them, they have that little area where you're, you know,
Right, yeah.
the ham and beans sit. And what it is that there's a cut in the actual thing
Right.
in the front, so that way, you know,
You
they
whip it out.
can whip it out, right?
Yeah.
Well, this one just has that cut to start off with. There's no like guard, there's no barrier whatsoever. And then on the front side,
I'm confused, but what do you mean by barrier?
do I need to bring out some boxers?
Yes.
Okay, all right, hold up.
Please.
All right,
I'm so
grabbing boxers
confused.
right now. Hold
Okay.
up.
See, the only thing I wear currently, like I don't even wear boxer briefs anymore. I wear like these athletic, like boxer brief things. They don't even have like a spot for me. Like I have to actually like disrobe if I want to use the bathroom.
I mean,
Okay,
if you guys want more freedom out there, why don't you just go commando?
See, I'm not of the freedom camp, which is ironic because like when I think kilt, I think Braveheart. So
You
I
like a
imagine
dictatorship down there.
I
You want a
like-
dictatorship.
I like it. I like to be supported and hugged. I like to be cradled. Okay, I like to
Okay.
like my nuts are like in a baby bird nest, and mama's taking good care of me. You know.
Okay. Uh-huh. You need everything
So-
like tucked in.
So podcast, those of you who are listening, obviously you're not going to see this, but
Okay.
you can visualize it. We won't put up a visual for
Why are
you
they
just
so
because.
long? This
Okay.
is not
Okay, these are long
boxers.
johns. I didn't have any boxer
These
briefs.
are literally like that's leggings at this point.
Okay, these are long johns. These are meant for during the
Leggings.
winter.
Okay.
And you wear them underneath your clothes, not out in
Leggings.
public where your ass can be shown. Anyways, not that I'm
Leggings.
complaining, ladies. Anyway, so there's this front end, right?
Right.
And then there's the little bit that you can sneak through,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
In the snake
Okay,
hole.
this whole part does not exist on the boxer kilt. It lets the man have free reign of his privacy while still having some privacy. And then on both ends, it covers the front end, and all you have to do is just lift it up like a kilt, and then you can go about your business.
So it's basically just a skirt.
It's not a skirt.
It's
'cause
a
it doesn't
kilt.
go all the way
Skirt.
around.
It's a front skirt.
It's a front. If anything, it would be a
Is it
front
just like
skirt.
a window? Is it a window that you just?
It's
Yeah,
a
and it goes hello.
it's a skirt mullet. It's business in the front, party in the back. See,
Okay, got it.
I could never wear those if I lived in a 2-story home, because if I'm going up and down the stairs, I'm going to be slapping my legs back and forth as I'm going up and down, like one of those
It's
little
funny
clapper
because,
things.
like, so this is basically the equivalent of like a woman going down the stairs without a bra.
Yes.
This is like the
Yes.
equivalent
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
Just walking down the stairs, just hearing.
Not exactly the sound, but sure.
but yes,
Not the first sound out with me.
I enjoy looking at different types of boxers and things like that just because it's like it's comfortable. I want to know what's the most comfortable because back whenever I was in middle school, I didn't have a choice. I was given, whenever I was super young, it was the tidy whities. And then when I got older, my parents were like, okay, you can move up to boxers. Well, the boxers weren't exactly helping me in any sense. And so then I switched it to briefs. And then I was like, nah, that's way, 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 way too tight. So then I switched to boxer briefs, and those are where I found to be my
Okay,
most
so
comfortable.
why won't you just go commando? I feel like for guys it's so different because like obviously with women this is gonna be a little disgusting, but with women we have like discharges and stuff like that. But guys don't have that, right? So like, why don't you just actually let the kingdom free? It's a genuine question.
eAya, we'd like to thank you for coming on the podcast.
Okay, goodbye.
That's all the time we have. I mean, look.
Go ahead. You go ahead, rebut.
All I was gonna say was that, like, I can't speak to that, but the reason against going commando, at least to me, is you want to make sure, at least I do, that everything is contained down there. Because if you sit weird, next thing you know, you're yeah.
Like you don't want the mouse to come out of the hole.
Well, you don't
want
want
to sit on the mouse.
Yeah, you don't want to pinch the sausage. You don't
Oh, I didn't even realize you guys can do that.
See, that's why I wear like the really tight, like athletic kind of ones most of the time. Like I don't even have I don't even have the window where I can like, say hello. You know what I mean? I don't even have that. Like I have to completely disrobe for my situation.
Well, yeah, you said you like having it.
Yeah, I like to make sure everything's tucked in nice and neat. My current ones I'm wearing say "bad motherfucker" on them. I don't know why.
See, that's actually so me and my best friend, whenever I go shopping, I always pick up a pair of really shitty, really stupid boxers for my best friend.
Like what?
And so last time it was it was bright cyan boxers with watermelon pieces and suns and stuff like that, and it says on the back, it says like summer. Really, I always pick up like the most embarrassing fucking boxers, and the last time we went shopping I picked him up those boxers, and he had a date right after. So he went on the date. I did something out of the movies. I like drove with him to the date, and I spied on them on the date. It was hilarious. He hated that. But anyway, we actually had a little bet that he had to wear those boxers on the date.
Oh my god.
I just love buying him underwear that like would be so insanely embarrassing if he got lucky that night.
See, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the more embarrassing the underwear, the more willing I am to show it off.
Right? No, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna show you a shirt.
Oh god.
1 second.
Okay. What were you gonna say, Obi?
So, funny enough, there was I love getting shirts and like getting shirt ideas. And there was this one, I was like, okay, I need to find good shirts to wear to TwitchCon. For those of you who don't know, myself and Omen will be going to TwitchCon together along with Jalen. I can't wait. Jalen, TSG, if you guys don't know who she is, she's wonderful. Go check out her shit.
Follow on all platforms.
Follow them on all platforms. So we're all going together. I was trying to find best shirts to wear, and I found one that says two-seater, and it points up and down. And I'm like, that is the best fucking shirt that I could possibly find. And then I was talking with Siri, and then Yoka Siri. I was talking with her, and she goes, You probably shouldn't wear that because there's people that are, moms bring like their kids to TwitchCon. I'm like, are you serious? I didn't even know that. Like, I don't know about the etiquette of TwitchCon because I'm an old dude, and I would expect that people going to TwitchCon would have to be over a certain age. But apparently, if you have guardianship, you're allowed to go.
Yeah, and if you go to buy your tickets, it'll say, "Are you over the age of like I think it's like 15 or something or 16? It's not even 18, so you gotta watch out for that." Oh,
So I got two. One is this one. So it says 0% Irish, 5% student, and 95% drunk. There's a little leprechaun. One of my favorite things in the world is just really stupid clothes. That is one, and then this one I got with my best friend again on one of her shopping sprees, which is a bright neon pink shirt saying "Dump him." And I find it absolutely fantastic.
oh
my god.
I have so many of those. I have a bunch of crop tops saying like it's really, really, really like cringy stuff. Like dump him, like it's Friday, bitch, stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
It's so ironic to me to wear those that it's becoming slowly like unironic.
Oh my god.
We better see you wearing those at TwitchCon.
I'll bring like 7, so you'll have like each day of the week. You'll see you'll see a new stupid shirt.
Now, Obi, here's a question. We're gonna get deep for a second. Because before we leave the underwear conversation, we're men, right?
Mm-hmm.
As you know, we tend to stretch things as far, not like that, but like the life of things, right?
Yeah. I'll definitely run something into the dirt. Yeah.
So, at what point are you a guy that will wear a pair of underwear until it's like basically a loincloth and nothing else? Or are you like, nah, these have seen their best day, they're gone. They can take an exit.
So I will follow that up with also that I do have things that are amongst that, condition. I'm not proud of it. They are very much more on like I wear this around the house. No one else is seeing my beefy Hanes pop out of this patchy hole, boxer briefs. I'm not doing that.
Those too.
What?
I have those too.
Well, okay, but like, this is a common like stereotype for men. Is that, like we have like specific products that end up being in that position or that condition.
I feel like you guys are just maybe more like socially acceptable for men, but I have some pants with like the entirety of the bottom is just ripped off, but I love the pants.
Well, see, pants are a little different. We're talking like the underneath,
Okay, but Omen, here's the thing, counterpoint. Women have a lot less fabric to work with when it comes to pennies.
Yeah.
I do have some that are like not in mint condition, let's just put it that way. But definitely, well, see, for women's underwear, especially like I'm not wearing those like granny underwear. I usually wear something a little less.
Right.
So, I don't have enough fabric for it to be patchy, because then it would just not be underwear anymore.
Oh, okay.
Would you mind giving
Showing
me
you guys?
well, you don't have to give visuals. We don't need visuals.
No.
We just want more clarification. Maybe like an example of that.
I might actually have to show you guys, but it's basically, how would I describe it? Okay, so I'll describe it with my pants on. So how there's like this part, right?
Sure.
And then there's the top part.
Man, this is so good for the podcast.
I know. So wait. Okay.
She's staying fully clothed, by the way.
Yeah. This is not Patreon
Okay. There's the bikini line, and then you have like the top part of the underwear, right?
Uh-huh.
And the top part has like certain like seams to it. Sometimes one of the strings gets a little loose and it starts to like pull. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm an ADHD bitch. I will, if I see a string out of my pants, I'm gonna pull on it, and there's nothing I can do about it. So, so I pull and I pull and I pull, and like slowly my underwear is becoming less and less.
Oh my god.
So I have a few of those that are like half pulled, and you know, at some point they're gonna be fully pulled because every time I put them on, I'm gonna continue pulling on that fucking string.
So you're basically wearing the equivalent of a Tarzan loincloth, where it's just like those small, like it's held together by sheer
Pretty
will
much, yeah.
of that
It's like-
fabric.
It's like the clown that keeps pulling scarves out of his mouth. Well, here's another thing. Here's another problem I have. Why is it called a pair of pants?
It's not a pair.
No, but like if you
Does
go
that mean?
if you
Does
go to
that mean that one side is a pant?
yes. Well, see, that's my argument. I believe that an entire unit, because if you have a pant leg and another pant leg, together that would make a pant. So why do we call them a
Yes.
pair of pants?
No.
Yes, but you're classifying them as pant leg, and that would in turn turn it into a single pant, right?
No, I
Or-
think like so. Okay, so one side is a pant, and then
Mhm.
two sides is pants,
Well, no, if you have
and
if
it's
you,
a pair of pant.
if you have a pair of pant legs, would that not make a single pant?
No, because why do you call it a pant leg?
Because it's a leg of the pant. You don't call it a
Okay,
pants leg.
I'm calling it a one side is a pant, two sides is pants.
So
It's a
single
pair of pant. But because it's a pair and it's multiple, it's a pair of pants.
and if we have pants and there are pant legs, why don't we call the sleeves of shirts shirt arms?
But okay, one sleeve.
No, we call them sleeves.
One sleeve.
So
One sleeve, right? Like one sleeve is my left sleeve,
yeah,
and then I have my right sleeve,
yeah,
Mhm.
and there are a pair of sleeves.
yeah. So would
One
not
pant, two pant.
red pant,
pair
blue
of
pant?
pants.
Well, so why do we call them pant legs and not pant sleeves?
We don't call them pant legs.
What?
We just call them pants.
Okay, I kind of get where both arguments are coming from, so I will be the mediator on this one.
Mediate our fucking pants.
Look. Okay. How about booty shorts, right? Let's say we got a pair of Daisy Dukes, right?
Sure.
Okay.
You're taking pant legs out of the equation now.
Not fully, it's just tiny pant.
Well, that's not pant legs. There's no leg to be had on this pant. Just the pant.
That's why I'm saying it's just pant. It's not pant.
Ah, so you
legs.
agree? It is pant.
No, I did not agree.
She said it. She said it.
Oh, I'm grabbing pants. Hold up.
You don't need to shout.
There have been so many visuals on this podcast, and it's how deep are we already?
We're fucking 40 minutes in.
We're 40 minutes in,
Oh my gosh.
and there have been so many visuals.
My entire closet is gonna be out today.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna explain it. So I'm holding pants up right now. Okay.
Mhm.
Like
And I
pajama
have the
bottoms.
left side. It doesn't matter. You can't see it. And we have the left side, right? This whole thing, the
Yes.
whole left side
Yeah.
is
Mhm.
pant. It's not a pant leg. It's just pant. Okay? And then you have the right side. It's also pant. They're both pant. Together, they're pants.
Okay, so if you
Pair of pants.
have two pairs of pants, would you have a pair of pants?
Yes.
Two pairs of pants.
Two
That actually
pairs
makes a lot of
pants
sense. Yeah.
Make 4 pants. Make 4 pen.
I'm not fighting you on this, Omen, but I'm definitely more leaning towards Aya's understanding.
Yeah!
Well, we can have our listeners comment on who's right on this argument here this week.
Yes.
So, but yeah, the underwear, like, I feel like definitely.
Video of me explaining the visuals.
I feel like underwear should definitely have an expiration date, though.
I think so, yeah. There shouldn't be, you shouldn't definitely never use, oh my God, wait, you just brought up a good point. Expiration dates, and I kind of wanted to talk on this since we have just a little bit more time. When it comes to expiration dates, I have looked up things that you didn't know have expiration dates, and I kind of want to run them by you guys and see if you guys know if these had expiration dates or not.
Okay. So are you giving us like you're gonna tell us something and we have to guess if there is an expiration date or not?
Yeah. So, well, this will be more of like things that you didn't know.
Oh, okay,
So,
gotcha.
like, I want to see if you guys already had this preconceived knowledge
I'm
of
not
these
gonna lie
things.
to you. I have a very like big thing with expiration dates. As a part of like my anxiety. So there's a big chance I would know it.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and read a couple of these off. So, sunglasses actually have an expiration date.
What?
What?
Yes.
Never mind. I take my previous statement back. What the fuck?
So there is not going to be an expiration date on your glasses. They never put them on there because it is not required. But
Is it like the UV resistance or something?
yes, actually. So the UV, over time, the UV protection will start to fade because it is a film versus it being like it has that property, like it has that element of glass that can protect you from UV rays. So yeah, it does have an expiration date.
That is so
And
weird.
it is recommended that you change them out approximately every 3 to 5 years.
Oh damn.
Okay, that's not bad.
I've had the same pair of sunglasses since high school.
Bro, I can't even keep a pair of
That
sunglasses
was
on
like
me. It
80
gets
years
stolen
ago.
every single time I go out. Like someone yoinks them, like a friend will yoink them, and I'll never see them again. They'll seep into their abyss of a house.
Dude,
See, I'm not gonna lie to you. I always hated the way I look with sunglasses on, so I never ever had a pair.
you've never had a pair of sunglasses?
I've never had a pair. I have a pair of normal glasses because I'm blind.
We'd like to thank you for coming on the podcast.
He just hates me.
No.
All
Okay.
right. The next one is going to be hydrogen peroxide.
Huh?
Yeah. So normally it's got a good shelf life. It's got a shelf life of about 3 years, but it's recommended not to be used after you open it for less than 6 months.
That's with most, like, quote unquote, like medicine and disinfectants and stuff like that.
Oh,
Usually it's between 6 months to a year.
I'm learning I'm doing things very wrong. I've had the same thing of like hydrogen peroxide in my cabinet for like years. And it's been open.
God.
It works. I mean, it does the job. How can
Can you
something...
guys describe, real quick, what is hydrogen peroxide? Because I probably only know it in my language.
It's like an antibacterial... It's kind of like
Yeah, okay,
a rubbing
that's what I
alcohol type
thought.
thing. But
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was.
how can something that cleans something that is like the absence of something being there go bad?
So it's not necessarily, it's just the effect of it lessens. That's with most medicine I'm talking right now, and disinfectants. The effects of it lessens, and if you really think about it, for example, soap is not necessarily antibacterial. It's just soap has good bacteria in it. So you can think of it as like almost two people fighting, and then the good people are slowly becoming weaker and weaker. In a way.
I'm gonna start crying every time I look at my soap. But no! Live, damn you! Live! No! I gotta use my soap so the good guys win. That's a great argument for children. Be like,
It actually is.
there's an eternal battle going on in the bar of soap, and if you use it, the good guys win. The Justice League is fighting on your Dove for Men bar of soap in the shower. Good Lord. Oh my God.
Adventures.
Okay, here's another one. I found out bike helmets actually do have an expiration date. Yeah, of all things, right? You would expect it to just have its like protection forever, right? But they
Yeah.
recommend that you replace it every 5 to 10 years
Oh my god.
because of the outer protective layer. It will become depreciated over time because most of them end up being what? Plastics. They end up being plastics and foams and plastics both
Yeah.
have expiration dates.
Now, are we talking like ching ching or vroom vroom bikes?
Both.
Okay.
What?
I feel like with the vroom bikes.
I just imagine somebody getting on their old ass motorcycle. You know, it's like a Triumph from the 1950s. It's got a sidecar on it. He like comes hobbling out. He's like, I haven't been on this thing in 47 years, and he climbs on with like the leather condom helmet that they used to wear like back in the.
It just crumbles off.
Yeah, as soon as he starts going, he starts dusting and just flying away. He's like, wait a
Kind of
minute.
like in a cartoon.
Yeah. The Wile E. Coyote made the helmet. Jesus.
Mhm.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
here is our last one: is car seats for children. So car
Oh my god, I
seats,
thought just car
I
seats.
yeah, I found this out, and it was actually a horror story. So the reason why you replace them and you don't use them constantly for each child to eventually you'll just have a car seat that you keep forever, and then you're like, oh, it's gonna be fine. Well, the retention that's on that car seat will depreciate over time. And unfortunately, there has been instances where kids have flown out of their car seat because that retention has been abused so many times, or it's been used so many times. Kids run around, they push and pull out of those car seats, and so the straps on them eventually will start to fade and not have their elasticity anymore. And
So what
eventually
you're
you will see babies catapulted out of
You're
cars.
saying that if you don't replace your car seat, you'll have to replace your child.
Oh my God.
I want to thank you so much for coming on.
It's all fun and games till little Timmy gets trebucheted into the next area code.
Yeah, no, for real. He gets launched into a cornfield.
I know it's not supposed
Children
to
of
be
the
funny,
corn.
but you're describing it as kids getting catapulted over. It's not. I just imagine like Angry Birds of children. I'm sorry. I know it's not funny. It's just the way you describe it.
It is funny. That's the thing.
Okay, well, we're not supposed to be saying the kids getting catapulted is funny. Okay.
Oh my god.
That's
So
it.
yes.
I'm making a new app, and it's going to be just a car seat that you pull back and you launch
Kids.
children into pigs or whatever they were.
Honestly, but that's the thing, because this app could actually be a really good safety campaign.
What?
Okay, so you know how do you guys remember the Dumb Ways to Die?
Yeah.
Wasn't that like a train safety thing?
I think so. I
I
think
think
it's.
it was like a safety campaign.
Yeah, it was like a PSA for something initially,
Let
then
me
it got
look it
turned
up.
into a
Hold
meme.
up.
Oh.
Was
Yeah.
Ways to Die.
But I mean, well, first off, this is also a really good indicator to tell people don't always give the next child a hand-me-down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so in 2012, Metro Trains, the public transit operation in Melbourne, Australia, created Dumb Ways to Die, a popular public safety campaign that spawned a series of tie-in mobile games. So it's actually a safety campaign, Dumb Ways to Die, which I think is actually done so well as a safety campaign. It's like involving something that is very like, involving a video game as a part of your a campaign and overall like things that are very interactive is actually such a great way, in my opinion, to get your point across.
Wait, it's a
Because we
video?
still remember it to this day.
It's a video
Huh?
game?
So it was originally, I think, a song or something.
Yeah.
Yep, it was
And
originally the
it
song.
actually turned into a mobile game.
I'm just now waiting for DreamWorks to make the Dumb Ways to Die movie. If they can make the Emoji movie, they're willing to make anything. You have
But
to...
unironically, a Dumb Ways to Die movie would be kind of fire.
I think it would be.
Fire, Dumb Ways to Die.
Yes! No,
Dying in
because
the
like
fire. Very stupid.
wait, okay. Dumb Ways to Die lyrics.
Oh my.
You can see it coming from a mile.
Hang on. That makes a good. That brings up a good point. I'm gonna pull up some like Darwin Award type scenarios here.
Are you
Oh,
guys
I
ready?
love them so much.
Set fire to your hair, poke a stick at a grizzly bear. Eat medicine that's out of date. Use your private parts as piranha bait. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. And then like you have you also have something about the trains actually
Hmm.
that they made a part of the song. You guys can keep going. I'm still looking for it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was reading. Look, it's really interesting to me how people can get into these situations that like the Darwin Award things. You know what I'm talking about?
Hmm.
It's
I
like,
do,
how,
yeah.
how do you
What is
end
it?
up? So the Darwin Award is people who have died doing like really, really dumb things.
Oh, men.
And well, yeah, probably,
sorry.
probably
Yeah.
probably a wide margin. Oh my gosh.
It has to be like a massive percentage.
Oh my goodness. So in 2008, 46-year-old David Monk was on a holiday in Italy with a group of his friends, and after having a few beers one evening, the lads decided to steal a protective mat that covered the metal barriers at the bottom of the slope and use it
Oh
as a
my God.
sled. They hiked up the hill, hurled themselves down it, and promptly slammed straight into the very same barrier they had stolen
Oh
the
my
protective matting from.
God.
Well,
Well,
oh,
going back to the dumb ways to die, actually, funny enough. So the very last verse, right? I'm gonna read it out to you guys. Dress up as a moose during hunting season. Disturb a nest of wasps for no good reason. Stand on the edge of a train station platform. Drive around the boom gates at a level crossing. Run across the tracks between the platforms. So it's only 3 lines in the song of the campaign, but it's actually like they put this like really like crazy shit, right? They dress up as a moose in hunting season, you know?
Yeah.
Like nobody in their right mind is gonna do that.
Well-
And then them actually entering those okay.
challenge
But them
accepted.
actually adding those like actual things into it, like them adding the run across the tracks between the platforms,
Mhm.
is actually like I'm kind of overanalyzing the song for you
A
guys.
little bit,
but-
but we're here for it. What a,
I feel like it's so smart. I feel like that is such a smart campaign.
it is, and it really it used social media the way it should be used, in my opinion, to like help benefit people. Though you reminded me, there is a video on YouTube of this dude like recording a selfie, and he's like on a train track. He's standing like right beside it. The thing practically shaves him, right?
Yes.
But he doesn't
that,
move.
yeah.
Like he just looks like just completely straight faced. I wish
That's
I had
terrifying.
half of the nuts that this guy has. This
I mean,
guy,
I don't honestly, Omen. I think you just have good survival instincts.
well, going back to
There's a
things,
different.
going back to things that have expired. This is a good story. So we were talking about things that have expired, and I have an unknown propensity to eat mold. Now,
we're on this now.
so
It's disgusting.
well, look. So the first way this started was I was at a barbecue. It was probably 2013, 2014. You know, I was like fresh out of high school. One of my buddies was having a cookout or whatever. And Aya, do you like hot dogs? Obi, do you like hot dogs?
I'm vegetarian.
Okay.
I can fuck with a hot dog. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like hot dogs when I
do-
eat meat.
Oh, I'm not gonna say it. Anyway, you know how if you get different brands of hot dogs, they taste different?
Yes. Yes.
So I go to the cookout. He's like, "Hey man, help yourself. You know, we got some hot dogs here. We got burgers." Like I wasn't feeling a burger. Went and got a hot dog, and I took a bite of it, and I was like, you know, this tastes a little funny. I don't know what's going on, but it just doesn't taste like a normal hot dog. I was like, you know, whatever. Maybe it's a weird brand. Maybe it's a cheap brand. You know, no big deal. So I polish off the hot dog, and like the flavor abided. You know, it kind of hung around for a little while. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And over the course of the day, I would have like another hot dog. I think I ended up having like three hot dogs, right? And this was through the course of a full cookout. And I'm just enjoying myself, but every time I'd eat one, I'd start feeling a little worse, right?
Oh God.
And I'm like, okay, you know, I don't know what brand hot dogs these are. You know, I went to my buddy
But
like,
it
hey,
still
man.
tastes good though.
Well, it tasted.
So you just ate it for the sake of eating it?
Well, I was like, maybe it's just a weird brand, you know. I'm not gonna insult this man's cookout. You don't do that, you know. And I got like two of them down, like, hey man, what brand hot dogs you use? And he goes, oh, I used insert brand name here because you know, sponsored maybe at some point. But anyway, insert brand name here, and I'm like, huh, I know this brand. So I go to make another one because I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm getting ready to leave, you know. And I'm like, I gotta figure this out. I'm looking like the condiments, nothing's expired, everything's fine. And then I pick up the bun, and I
Oh
flip.
my God.
I flip the bun over, and it's just a Gulf green.
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
Oh,
And
man.
And I
How
go,
do you not notice that?
it's on the bottom. I got Trojan horsed by mold. Like it didn't tell me. It didn't tell me. Like it was like, hey, but so then I'm like, okay, maybe it's just this one. I flipped them over all the buns, every single one.
Oh,
It was just lawn care service. Just that's
oh
all
my
it was.
God, that's
Jesus.
disgusting.
And well, this takes me to about 2 months ago, where so Obi, we've talked about fitness, and I recently got myself a Ninja Cranny, right?
Yes.
And delicious, highly recommend. I would recommend more if they sponsored us. But, but you know, I made like this really good high protein chocolate ice cream. I stick it in the fridge. I'm like, you know, in 24 hours, I'm tearing that ass out. You know, and I kind of forgot about it for an indescript amount of time. You know, when I came back to it, there was like, I feel like I had unearthed Captain America. You know, I was having to chisel him free from the ice.
Oh, dude.
Was it okay? Was
Well,
it in the fridge or the freezer?
The freezer is the freezer. So
How
naturally,
the fuck do you get mold on your freezer?
that's what I'm wondering. And so I open it, and it was like chocolate, and it had like these specks on it. And I'm like, maybe it's the bubbles that are stuck in there
No,
from when
it's
I mixed
never
it.
the bubbles.
And
It's never the bubbles.
well, I was like, you know what? It's been in the freezer. Logic dictates it's not moldy. So I come in here, open it, and I have a bite. I'm like, oh, okay, it's pretty good. You know, the chocolatey goodness, good proteiny flavor. All right, you know, 2 bites. Something's starting to build. Third bite, I'm like, like there's a film or something.
Oh, dude.
You
And-
know,
And on bite 4, I'm like, I know this flavor.
why was there bite 4? That's the question.
Because I don't trust my own taste buds, Aya. Because
Okay,
So,
remember
about that
earlier when I
survival
said you
instinct.
had good survival instincts? Apparently, that only applies to trains.
well, look, I legitimately do not trust my taste buds at this point. I got a Bean Boozled game for my streams that people can redeem, like for me to eat a Bean Boozled. there will be an alarming amount of times where I'll eat one of the beans and I'll be like, I don't know if this is good or bad. I have no idea. I think my flavor buds are broken. Like I can't taste things. I don't know what the
I feel like
problem
you
is.
just need like, so you know how in the train station you have like a yellow line or whatever.
Mhm.
You have a line and like
I need a mold
this like,
line.
thing. Yeah, you need a mold line because apparently, like in a train station, you get all these like signs and stuff like don't step past the line, and you know there's like announcements like stay away from the platform. Apparently, you need that for food.
Yeah, you need that,
Expiration
and
dates
it's
are not
the
enough for
easiest way
you.
to do that is to fucking put the date on whatever packaging, so that way you know. Oh, this has been like 2 months since I made this. Maybe I should like not.
I feel like I'm having an intervention right now. Like,
Why?
first off,
You need to stop eating mold.
it gets even worse, guys. So,
Oh my
Oh,
god. There's no
thought
way
you
you have
only had
another
2.
mold eating story.
bro.
so about a month ago, like, you know,
Collect yourself, man.
about a month ago, I buy these keto buns now, right? High in protein, low in everything else. However, prone to going moldy really fast. And I made burgers, and I was eating the burger, and I was like, damn, I know that flavor again. Flip the bun over, green. And I'm like, okay, but I got it this time. I didn't eat it. I threw it away. Everything was good. And I was
you
talking...
ate enough.
Well, I mean, I got the flavor palette. I know that by now. The alarms go off, and I can, get it out.
But you can recognize the flavor of mold is very alarming.
Well, here's what makes it worse. I think so. The next time I went back, right, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was like, why don't you just check? Why don't you look at your bread before you buy it? And I go, I do.
Recheck your buns.
I do. I look at the expiration date, and I assume that if the expiration date's okay, I don't need to look at the bread. They're both shaking their heads at me. So, okay, but then, so I'm like, okay, next time I'm gonna show her. I'm gonna go buy me some bread, and I'm gonna look at it, and it's not gonna be moldy. So I pick up the first thing of buns, and I look at the expiration date. The expiration date's fine. So this is where normally I'd stop. Like, I'm good. That's all I need to know. I flip it over because I'm like, no, I'm gonna prove her wrong. Flip it over. It's moldy. I'm like, she's never gonna fucking let me live this down in my entire life. But then it gets worse because I think I accidentally convinced another guy to then buy the moldy buns that I just put back.
Oh,
Are you serious?
my
Not on
God.
purpose. Wait, okay. So I put the bun back, right? Which,
Mhm.
in hindsight, probably should have just set it to the side and not put it back on the shelf. But I sit
You
it
give
there.
it to an employee and say this shouldn't be
This is
sold.
I need an adult, okay? But look, I put it back. I grab another thing, make sure it's good, and then I go to walk away, and another guy walks up and grabs the same thing of buns. He didn't look at shit and just put it straight in his basket. And I walk back
that
up.
guy was you.
No. Well, I walked back up, trying to be a good Samaritan, and I tried to be like, hey man, just so you know, I just put those buns back. They got some mold on them. Don't buy those buns. He goes, oh, good looking out, man. And he takes the buns, he puts them back on the shelf, grabs another thing of buns, puts them in his cart, gone. He walks away. And then at this point, I'm like,
Look.
yeah. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I need to take a picture to send to my friend to be like, I can't believe you were right. So I go back to find the buns, and they're not there.
Oh, dude.
So I think the dude grabbed the thing of buns next to the moldy ones, and I told him to put them back. And he put the moldy ones.
Oh. Okay.
I love the way that both of you, not just you, but both of you, decided that it's a good idea to put the moldy buns back
Yeah, like
for other people to grab them. None of you had the tiny thought of oh shit, that shit is moldy. I already ate mold. Maybe I should tell an employee. So
Well-
other people are not gonna eat mold.
I have the Dwight Schrute method of this, where I feel like the more I eat of it, the stronger I'll become.
This is really not how life works.
I mean, I've eaten mold 4 times now, and I'm okay, marginally. I'm fine.
Here's a big word, Omen.
I don't know. You also have people
You
out here
cannot
like
eat
drinking
green-
mushrooms, so that's also a thing.
You cannot eat mold 4 times and say that you're okay.
I'm fine. Everything's, well, I mean, okay as one can be expected.
Brain-wise, Omen, not guts-wise. Brain-wise, something here. I'm
Well,
here.
Actually, I would argue that my brain is better off than my gut. Like, I feel like my
That
gut's
is
seen some shit.
extremely alarming, Omen.
I feel like my brain
I don't know
is.
how you're alive.
I feel like my brain is like the 1950s housewife that stayed home from war, but my stomach is the Vietnam veteran who saw some shit and every now and then comes home and has Apache helicopters flying over and Fortunate Sons playing, and he reverts back to how he
See,
used to be.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Omen. I feel like if I try to imagine the inside of your brain, it would just be like 2 brain cells doing the Macarena in the corner.
It's one of those wind-up monkeys banging cymbals together is pretty much all I got going for me. Oh my gosh. But dude, that cordyceps coffee is another thing as well. Can we, like, no. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I don't know. I don't know why people think that this was like a good idea. As much as it gives you as far as nutrients, you can naturally get from your regular diet. And on top of that, it's a spore, right?
Mhm.
Like I am not hating on people. Okay, this is not me hating on people that are like out there in the wild, like cooking up their steak mushrooms or whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Right.
This is me getting onto the people that are not aware of what they're putting into their body and whether or not they can receive it from a different source that is natural. Well, not that spores aren't natural; they're very natural. We have them in almost all of our foods. If you have anything that says fermented, it has some type of bacteria that has been creating a spore of some type. I completely understand that. But what I'm not okay with is when people do things just because social media says it's good. I see it all the time on media. Is like this. These are superfood coffees, and I'm like, no, it's not superfood. Just you
Wait,
can
so
lose
what?
a gut in like two weeks. It's basically like mushroom coffee. So what they'll do
Why
is
is it
they
so
will.
bad?
Well, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying why wouldn't you get it from a different source instead of having to replace this horrible addiction of coffee and you go into Starbucks 42 times a week? Like if you want to replace it with a better alternative, I think a great alternative would be to go towards more like juicing. Juicing would be a great option because there's great antioxidants that come with it. You will receive whatever you're getting from what you're juicing and the seeds all in one.
Okay, but what is so bad about like specifically the mushroom coffee?
Okay.
It just doesn't have anything that you wouldn't be able to find naturally.
So
And on
But
top
it
of
is
that,
natural.
well, no. That's what I'm saying is I understand that it's natural, but what I'm saying is you can receive it from a different place instead of having to. They're calling out for the sake of like coffee addiction, basically. That's their whole gimmick is that it's people that are trying to get away from coffee and still be able to get like a good amount of energy. Well, you can get that energy from basically anywhere else in your diet, and you don't have to replace this horrible habitual thing. You can do something else.
yes, though I feel like there's also a cautionary tale here in that some of these coffees use like cordyceps, and I don't know if you guys have seen The Last of Us, and I know that's a show, but however, like that's the same damn thing. And
It is.
they're willingly, and I know the whole, our body's temperature is far too high for it to work. You know what adjusts something's ability to handle temperatures? Putting it in fucking coffee. How about that? Where it's
boiling
hot.
water.
Yeah, over, like, maybe not this generation, but eventually one of these mushrooms is going to have the aha moment, and then we're all dead. And then we're all going to be living with Ellie and Joel in The Last of Us, and no thank you. Now, some people are
I
like,
think.
go ahead.
Sorry. No, you go.
Well, no, I was just saying, like, there's people who say, oh, it's good for your sexual health, it's good for your mental health, it's good for all these things because the mushroom tries to survive in your body, therefore it boosts your body. And I'm like, if it knowingly is trying to survive and thrive in my body, I don't want it in my body.
Oh
Yeah.
no, 100%. It's also it's very similar to there's certain like worms that people I don't remember which country they do it. Okay. There's like certain worms that I know people drink to like clear out their guts or something. And that shit
What?
is so insanely dangerous.
Do you ever like tapeworms?
It is. It's kind of like tapeworms, but the ones that you intentionally put in your body.
Some people intentionally put tapeworms in their
They
body.
do, yeah.
Yeah.
It might be just a tapeworm, to be honest with you, but it's very disturbing. I feel like overall nothing should live inside of your body. Let's start there.
No.
If it wasn't put there by default, you probably shouldn't put it in there.
Yeah, my stomach is not a resident.
Exactly. It's not like I want to get paid if I'm renting it out, but to be honest with you,
Not a
no, but
Holiday
it's
Inn
funny
Express.
that I'm like not fully
like
with you
that.
guys when it comes to like you can get things elsewhere, especially as a vegetarian. I could get my iron intake like a lot easier if I just ate meat. I do believe that like it's okay for you to like look for your nutrients in like different ways, if that makes sense. Definitely with you in the whole like is something living inside your body. You shouldn't do that. Please don't do that. And it's also funny because you guys are kind of like mad about the way they're advertising it. But if you really think about it, like advertising is not necessarily advertising have always been bad. It's always been like very misleading. Cigarettes used to be advertised as a sports energy
Yeah,
thing.
true.
Yeah.
So you can't really like trust advertising too much.
Well, also, you wouldn't really get many sales if you're like, hey, remember that fungus from The Last of Us? Put that shit in your body to make your sex better than you've ever had in your entire fucking life, man.
Yeah, because you're not going to be having sex. That thing will take over your brain, and it'll be trying to like multiply
it's a
into other people's
very-
bodies.
Maybe,
That's a form of sex.
maybe it already has taken over everybody's bodies, and the people who are saying it's good for you are the people already controlled by the fungus overlords.
Oh my god, you're right.
My
They've,
God.
they've adapted.
This is like the entire blood of
evolved.
parasites just in mushrooms.
Drink it. It's great for you.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Maybe. Oh,
You
I'm not gonna
actually
say
just
brand because we're
described
gonna
IRL
lose a
like
sponsor.
parasite.
I could.
You're not going to be able to get sponsored by the zombie fungus people.
By the zombie fungus coffee. Damn. I mean, maybe if it's good, maybe we'll change our mind. Maybe we'll become part of the fungus hive mind. Who knows? We'll join in.
Hey, listen, a lot of people just want to feel like they belong somewhere, and maybe having a zombie fungus will make them feel like a part of a community.
There you go. And I feel like there's two ends of the spectrum. There's either the coffees that are promoted as health drinks, or there's the coffees that are promoted as bougie-ass expensive things just for people to say, oh, I have this coffee. There's a coffee that is like, the beans are eaten by this like cat creature.
I saw
Yeah.
that.
And
What?
it's eaten by this cat creature, and then the digestive enzymes like alter the coffee bean a little bit, to which
Basically,
then the
Shit, coffee.
yeah, then the creature, the cat thingy, I don't know what it's called. I think it's called a civet or something. It excretes the coffee in the manner of which you think it would, and then they grind it up, put it in bags, and sell it to people for like $250 a pouch.
Dude, that is the most like gold encrusted bullshit that I've ever heard in my life. I know this in like the nutrition like field. They're so like, oh well, you can eat these specific types of special pre-workouts and it will help you work out. And I'm like, that's not even true. these add less than more than 1% to your actual diet. So why would you even worry about it?
Yeah.
And it gives nothing, right? Most of them end up being caffeinated beyond belief.
Oh
And
yeah.
this is not to like, again, we always talk about this. This is not to ruin sponsorships. This is just to tell you guys the truth. If you are looking into like any types of any pre-workouts or any type of like monoisolate proteins or things like that, you don't have to go for the ones that are all about this special ingredient, because the
Mhm.
special ingredient probably isn't going to be it's going to be bullshit.
Yep. Every time.
Counterpoint, placebo is very, very effective. As somebody that falls for placebos,
Yeah, that's more mind over matter, less than the ingredient itself.
but
Mhm.
of course, yeah, no, I agree with you guys 100% in that.
Yeah.
But in the sense of like, if I spent $20 on some magical fucking pre-workout, I'm gonna be a lot more driven to work out because I spent so much money on
That's
something
true.
that is,
True. Yeah.
so like there's a lot of people that, for example, go to these like smoking programs, those that like help you quit smoking,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and they spend shitloads of money on it. The program is bullshit, but they already spent so much money that they don't want to just waste the money, so they quit smoking anyway.
Right.
And so it works.
Yeah.
It just works in a very, very different way. And as somebody that, like, if you gave me like something that is supposed to be super nutritious, blah blah blah, and will help me work out, that would actually like unironically motivate me to work out, even if that thing is not working.
Yeah, but
So in a way, it's like, obviously I agree with you guys that like, yes, it's bullshit, yes, it's not good, yes, we shouldn't do that. At the same time, it low-key works in a very, very different way.
I mean, if it works, I suppose. You just don't want to be reliant on that. And I don't
Of
know.
course.
That between
Yeah.
that and the coffee thing, I still imagine that like there were two rich guys like wearing top hats and monocles, because that's how I envision every rich guy. They're just the Monopoly guy, and they're sitting around like a fire and a bear rug. And he's Nigel, I have a smashing idea. I believe.
It's crazy.
I wager my finest yacht that I can convince the masses to buy cat shit coffee. And he's, oh, Charles, I will take that wager. Like, I imagine that's exactly how that entire conversation went down.
I unironically imagine something very different. I imagine like two very normal guys. None of them is named Nigel, and imagine them actually making a bet of how stupid people are.
Pretty
So it's
stupid.
not necessarily. It's actually like the two people that are betting how Nigel is stupid. How Nigel is gonna buy that fucking overpriced cat shit.
What do you got against Nigels?
I don't know. That Nigel guy really ticks me off.
Fucking Nigel. I
Oh.
can't
Else
believe
is
you.
okay.
I will say, guys, we are getting to be about an hour and 20 minutes in here if we wanted to start wrapping up. Anybody have any final thoughts or anything they'd like to talk about?
I do actually.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
One side is a pant. And both is a pair of pants.
Oh my. Okay.
Look.
Well,
Good night.
it's been wonderful having you here. Before we do close out, I do want to shout you out, Aya. If you would like to plug any of your socials, we would greatly appreciate it. We want to support everyone that comes onto the podcast.
Mhm.
The eAya TTV on all platforms except Twitch, which is just eAya.
Including OnlyFans and Patreon. I'm just kidding. Kidding.
Find me on MySpace.
My
MySpace. Oh my god.
Oh.
And my
Check out my
Tumblr.
SoundCloud.
Oh, thank you
Well,
so
thank you
much.
so much for having me.
Of course.
you.
Thank you for being here. Obi, anything you'd like to say before we wrap up?
Guys, we will be moving forward with more, this is going to be, like we said, a bi-weekly schedule. I'm really excited about it. If you have any questions, comments, or even concerns that you may have for the podcast, you can throw the concerns in the suggestion pile, which is over there with the shit, and then the rest of the comments and concern, or questions and stuff. Please feel free to send it over to myself on ob.exe for Twitter, or you can send it over to OMEN, the real OMEN underscore, yes. And we will gladly answer. Oh, and our podcast Twitter. We do have a podcast Twitter now.
Finally.
So finally, it just took me, a good four hours of my day in the morning. Just randomly, I was like, I forgot to make the all of the socials for it, but it is up now. Please go follow that, and please send us your messages on there. We love to take on your questions, and
Links in the description.
Links in the description. If you are interested in coming onto the podcast at any point, please feel free to reach out to us on the podcast Twitter as well, in the DMs, and then we will take. We love to take anyone that would love to come and talk. Obviously, it's going to be mostly just me and Omen, but we will have our guests on as well. This is already the second one, and we already have a guest. That's fucking crazy.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, that's it for myself, the real Omen underscore, for ob.exe, and our lovely guest, eAya. Thank you all for listening to the podcast. See you guys next time. Peace.